Hey guys, welcome back to Teal House Farm. Today is the big day. We are taking the sheep up to the butcher, but we got to get everything ready to get them up there. That's probably the most complicated part, I'll be honest. Like, you know, raising animals has its challenges, buying animals can have its challenges, but once they are full size and you got to get them to the butcher, that is a challenge when you don't have large equipment. And so we've done it before. We did it last year, right? And if you're curious to see what you get in a butcher haul with a sheep, I will link that video below, because that was something I really didn't know what to expect when we raised our own sheep the first time. But overall, we were very happy with the sheep. We really liked the meat, so we decided we were going to raise more lambs. So we did that this year. We've got 2 going into the butcher. So we got to get them there though. And so we basically are going to use the minivan with some extra large dog kennels is what works best for us. A livestock trailer would be much easier, but that is a humongous investment. And people always ask, why don't we just butcher them ourselves? So we figured out the initial cost of investment for supply is about the same as what the cost is to butcher 2 sheep. So to get, you know, your really good knives and, you know, the freezer bags and things like that, it's going to cost us, what cost is about what it's going to cost us to have 2 sheep butchered, which is between $200 and $250. But then you also have to add the time component on that. That is a whole, at least, you know, a whole day, huge project. You got to have a place to hang the animals as well. And so that's just not practical for us with all the small children and Sam having just finished school and starting his new job tomorrow. It is much better for us to take him up to the butcher and have them done for us. However, after you make your initial first investment and learn the skills, it does save you money long term. So something we have talked about is learning how to do it ourselves in the future, so that we don't have to make these trips. But for this year, this is the best choice. And for right now, we're going to get everything ready and we're going to get them loaded and we're going to try to get them up there. This is a Sunday afternoon. The butcher date is actually for tomorrow morning, but they allow you to drop off the night before if you need to, which we do because I am super pregnant. And Sam has to work tomorrow, and there's no way I can load these sheep by myself in my condition, and definitely wouldn't be able to do it safely. So we are going to drop them off tonight after dinner, and then they'll be there for their butcher date tomorrow. So let's get the van ready to go. All right, so to get the van ready to go, we have to empty out the trunk. So I don't have very much back there. I'm pretty good about not hoarding stuff in the trunk of the van, believe it or not. It's just my reusable shopping bags and then a stroller and some jumper cables. That's all I got back there. And then we're gonna have to lay the back seats down. The back seats are kind of heavy, but they lay down pretty easily. You just kind of yank this strap and they all fold over and then they lay down flush with the floor, which is great. That's perfect for needing to put an extra large kennel back here for the sheep. Of course, when you lay the seats down, it always shows you everything that the kids have ever shoved under the seats. So we crawl back there and clean it up as best as we can, just so we aren't super embarrassed when we pull up and drop off the sheep. Once we get the back seats all laid down and mostly cleaned up, we go ahead and try to take out the front middle seat. And I did this last year, and it's always one of those things where you kind of forget how it's supposed to work. And it turns out you have to move the front seat all the way forward in order to slide out that middle seat. So we get that moved, and then I just forgot how heavy it was. It's just too heavy and too cumbersome for me. I just cannot get it out. So we're gonna have to grab some reinforcements because my construction manager there is not strong enough to help quite yet. So we gotta take a run inside to go get Daddy. And he comes out and helps me get this seat out. It actually ends up being quite a team effort because it's just like stuck. I guess it's good to know safety-wise that the seat doesn't dislodge easily, but it took 2 of us just way too long to try to figure out how to get this seat out, but teamwork makes dream work. We finally get that seat out, and then we also have to take out the middle seat because we have a bench set up in the middle of this van to fit all the kids. And once we get all of that taken out, we can go ahead and start to put the kennels in. There's a whole lot of old fries and crackers on the ground there, and so I brushed those out to the delight of our geese and our duck, who are going to have a little snack on some really old snacks that have been sitting on the floor of the van. Get that middle console out and out on the grass, and then we should be ready to go. So what we use to transport the sheep are 2 extra large dog kennels. One of them is a wire kennel, which you have right here, and this one is actually our dog's sleeping kennel that we keep inside, so we're borrowing it for the day. So we put that in, and I slide it in through the back, and we're gonna make it so that you can load the sheep from that side door. There's a side door to the kennel, so it'll be super easy. However, I realized I didn't put the tarp down, so we had to take it out and then try again. You always want to put a tarp down and then some sort of cardboard on the bottom of this kennel because the sheep is going to pee and poop everywhere as you take it up to processing. And then I have this extra large solid kennel, which is a much better one for transporting sheep. It's a lot sturdier. Okay, we got the van all ready to go. Sam is going to help me load them. I am not going to vlog loading them only because I'm afraid if I put the camera in the stall, the camera is also my phone, that one of the sheep might tip it over and step on it, and then we're in big trouble because I don't want to have to buy a new phone. So we will see you once we were all loaded. Okay, so things did not go as planned at all. We're supposed to bring in the sheep last night. It is now the next morning, and we are finally on the road, bringing them up to processing. I've got Micah with me, and I've got the youngest one, I got Pat with me. Those are the only ones I can fit in the van because so many of the seats have been taken out. We did it! Yay! Somebody's ready to get out. All right, sheep are dropped off. And that, my friends, is why you put a tarp down. A lot of defensive pooping going on back here, Pat. So what ended up happening is yesterday, after I got the van all set up, ready to go, we bribed the sheep into the stall with their grain, which is typically what we do, and it works pretty well. They love their little grain treat. They usually only get it in the morning, but they heard the jingle jingle of it in the afternoon, and they came running in from the field, and we had a temporary door set up. So after they came in, we shut the temporary door. Then we were able to grab, I say we, Sam does it. I obviously am too pregnant to be wrestling sheep down to the ground. So I blocked the stall door for the exit so I could open it for him. And Sam grabbed the big black sheep first because we thought that was going to be the most difficult one. He's the one that really doesn't like people. And so we knew he would be a tricky one to catch. So Sam grabbed him and we dragged him out here to the van, put him in that blue kennel, locked him in the back of the van, went back. And by the time we got back, we realized that the white sheep had already left, managed to break down the door of the stall, so distressed that his buddy had left. We spent 4 hours trying to corral the white sheep to be able to catch him, and we just couldn't do it. So we ended up taking the black sheep out, putting it in the stall, still in the kennel, hoping that the white sheep would hear his buddy and come into the stall. So we placed him in there and kind of backed away to see what would happen, and the black sheep managed to break the door on the blue kennel in order to get out. And so then we had both sheep out and both sheep not buying anything that we were selling as far as trying to corral them back into the stall to catch them. So we finally just had to give up, and we got up the next morning and thankfully were able to bribe them again with some grain, locked them back in the stall. This time we made sure the doors were extra secure. We bolted them down better so that they couldn't be broken. Through like that white sheep had done last time. We managed to get them both loaded and to processing. So in a week, we will be able to show you what we've got. And if you're interested in seeing what we got last year, I'll link that below. But this year, I think we're going to get a lot more meat because these sheep are a lot bigger since we now have a better idea of what we're doing. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.